Yo, feel the vibe. We are entertainment, CBM Radio. We are that station that you're looking for, that your mama warned you about. Yo, we are entertainment.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Hey yo, CBM Radio. Feel the vibe, man.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Lens. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful souls listening in from every corner of our nation and beyond. You're now tuned into The Lens, where culture meets conversation and truth speaks louder than silence. I'm your host, Kaitana Davis, and today we step into one of the most layered, controversial, and beautiful human experience. I guess that's intermarriage, right? Whether it's across tribe, race, religion, or national borders, intermarriage is a phenomenon as old as humanity itself, yet as fresh as dynamic as today's headlines. Is love enough? Can two people from vastly different backgrounds make it last? And what does history teach us about this kind of union? Just drop your answers in the comment section and then we'll be getting back to you shortly. Stay with me, you don't want to miss this. So let's begin with the definition and history of intermarriages. What is intermarriage? What are the historical foundations? Well, according to me, or according to you maybe, intermarriage refers to a marital union between individuals from different culture, ethnic, religious, or national backgrounds. It's also called exogamy, the practice of marrying outside one's group. Of course, intermarriage is not new. In fact, it's really ancient. Let me take you back to ancient Egypt and Nubia. We have royal families often intermarry with foreign dynasties to secure alliances. That's a case in point. Read your Bible very well. King Solomon's first wife was an Egyptian princess from the Pharaoh. And maybe his other wives were, from outside Israel. If you read your Bible very well. The Aksumite Empire, which we know today as Ethiopia and Eritrea, intermarriage was foreign nobility. With foreign nobility was part of diplomacy. The Aksumite Empire was what replaced the Kush Empire, I think. So it was it was where present-day Ethiopia and Eritrea is. So these guys had to, had to strengthen. They didn't marry just because of love or thing. No, the reason they married, the intermarriage was to seal their diplomatic relationships between the different kingdoms, and that was the main reason why people carried intermarriage. But as time went on, love has no borders, as people say. People started falling in love with people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different religions, and this has faced a strong opposition from the elders. Let me say an example. No, why would you marry someone from this area? Why do you marry? But you don't understand why that person has really fallen for that particular person, because he or she is not blind, that he did not see people around his or her area that he or she could fall in love with. So, but in the ancient days, the intermarriages were mainly due to diplomatic ties, though we also have cases of love. In Buganda as well, back to historical records showed the Kabaka sometimes took wives from neighboring regions to secure peace or trade. I'm not sure if this is right, but in my research, this is true. Yeah, because it also strengthened ties. That's what I mean, can be trade and what. But despite this long history, intermarriage has always been a site of tension, raising questions of loyalty, purity, culture, and identity. And today we're going to unpack those layers. So why do people intermarry beyond romance? Like, why do you think people go ahead and intermarry? Let's be honest, love may be the main driver, but there was more to intermarry than meets the eye. People intermarry for a variety of reasons. Shared values. Sometimes your soul resonates with someone who isn't from your world but shares your beliefs. Yeah, you may not be. For instance, you may get married to a Christian outside Uganda. That's what they are trying to mean here. That one is globalization. People work, study, and live across borders. Exposure leads to connection. Yeah. Education and social mobility. Some marry across class and culture for opportunity, access, or freedom. And urban life, cities like Kampala, Nairobi, Lagos, London, Paris are melting pots. You are bound to fall for someone from the other side. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't give, it's not a guarantee that you love someone, but you feel you're connected to that person outside your, let me say outside your league, you know. But intermarriage also challenges tradition, language, inheritance laws, religious expectations. So that's how we see personalities like with marrying this black American princess, you know. It was a problem. So I would like people to, you know, post their questions in the comment section. Well, I would like to ask my producer, Mr. Lewis, what do you think about intermarriages? Well, Lewis, who is that? Is it who? Lewis. Well, personally, I think intermarriage is one of the most powerful expressions of human connection. This is where love meets courage. It's easy to fall in love with someone just like you, someone who eats the same food, speaks the same language, and celebrates the same holidays, etc. So we are going to look at some of the historical figures who were as a result of intermarriages. Let's get like 10 of them from here. We have Moses and this Cushite woman. We have King Solomon and the Egyptian queen. We have who else am I skipping? So Solomon marries his first wife was actually Egyptian, who was from Pharaoh's what? From Pharaoh's palace, you know. So, and that strengthened the relationship between Israel and Egypt. There were no constant wars. There were no constant conflicts between these countries from that had a historical conflict. So
feel the vibe. We are entertainment, CBM Radio. We are that station that you're looking for, that your mama warned you about. Yo, we are entertainment.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Hey yo, CBM Radio. Feel the vibe, man.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
welcome back from that short break. So let's look at both sides of the coin. the glory and the grit of intermarriage, the beauty. Cultural exchange, you gain traditions, languages, and cuisines. Imagine Eid and Christmas in one household. Imagine having Easter and imagine having Easter and Eid, where they is it Eid al-Fitr, where you guys in the same household despite their religion. Know what I'm saying? Imagine having children of intermarriages. These kids often grow up multilingual, emotionally intelligent, and culturally versatile. You marry a girl from, let's say, France. She's French. She's white French, and then you're Ugandan. Of course, you are. You won't change your nationality. Then she gives you kids who both know the Ugandan languages and the French language. So this easily, connects the two worlds together, and this also fights against the social injustices like racism, discrimination, because there's that love, that connection that is being improved between those two groups of people. You also have bridge building. These unions bring clans, tribes, even nations together. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they easily fight against those social injustices, because when two groups of people are together, it improves unity. It may not be at an international level, but it can be at a family level, so whereby you guys are you're in a house whereby we have white folks and black folks, whereby, we are sharing ideas. There's nothing like, so that's what I'm trying to mean. Then we also have bridge building. These unions bring clans, tribes, even nations together. Unity through diversity. They show us that love transcends the artificial boundaries society creates. You don't have to rely on these boundaries that just when you're in Uganda you can't cross on the other side. But however, this intermarriage thing has some own, it has its own problems, its own challenges. Like, for example, family resistance. Someone will ask you, why do you have to marry outside? Some parents still view outsiders with suspicion or fear due to historical conflicts, due to historical reasons, due to cultural reasons, due to religious reasons, all those. And even religious reasons. Some faiths strictly forbid interfaith unions, and others require conversion. Yeah, and tribal stigmas. Let's not pretend tribalism doesn't exist. I'm just marrying a Tesom, you're marrying a Karimojon, can face backlash. Be like, yo, where the hell are you marrying this girl? Like, why are you going ahead with this person? Then you also have legal issues. In some countries, interfaith or interracial marriages face bureaucratic delays associated with discrimination. Actually, it was just recently when the United States in 1969 allowed interracial marriages, like marriages between black folks and white folks and maybe other races. But before then, marrying a person from another race was impressionable. You won't believe that. And then raising children, someone will be confused, be like, now, which language are they going to speak? Which culture are they going to follow? Which religion are they going to believe in, right? Because, of course, we all want our kids to know our cultures from both sides. So it will be like a sign of confusion. It's real, and it really requires some work. And then some advice for couples in already intermarriages. Just considering or navigating an intermarriage, here are some tested tips from counselors and successful couples. Talk early and often. Discuss cultural expectations, child rearing, holiday celebrations, funeral customs, gender roles. If you have a custom, like if you have a cultural custom that looks weird to another culture, because as they say, one man's meat is another man's poison, say it out, to prevent further shock, If you come from a cannibal family, my dear, say it out that you stop cannibalism, or because cultures are different, okay? And discuss how are you going to, to groom your children, because different cultures have different ways of grooming kids. So talk about how you're going to groom your kids, how they're going to understand your differences in aspects of life. Yes, if you're French, the French people eat snails. So, are your kids also going to eat snails when you don't eat snails? There's the Chinese, they feed on dogs. So that looks weird on some part of us. Like, yo, but when it's a culture, I hear the Ethiopians eat raw meat. I don't know if it's true, but someone told me that. Then, you also discuss gender roles, Discuss how does your culture or how does your society handle gender roles? If you're a woman, how are you supposed to look after your husband? Because there's some cultures whereby the woman is, there are some cultures where the family is, it's headed by a woman. But if in my culture it's headed by a man, then talk about, because when you fall in, when you get married to this, my dear, you're going to be surprised when you when you fall in love with someone from a different society. So all I can say to you is that discuss all those things. Discuss how you educate your kids. Discuss how you're going to, how you're going to teach your kids their cultural background from both sides. Don't attempt to monopolize your own because you're the man. You want your kids to speak your language, to follow your religion. No, let them explore the other side of the marriage. Then you involve your families gradually. Don't just drop your partner on your clan like a surprise party. Huh? Just, speak. Unite these families from different backgrounds. Let them talk about. Let them actually, instead of fighting against your marriage, let them help it live longer, right? Let them help it, let them help it consolidate its existence. Because then if people love each other, then you're not going to bring up your ideas. And because you married this one, that's the reason you're facing this problem. Because you married him, that's the reason you're bringing these problems. And don't erase culture. Just blend it. You can mix it up. Keep what makes you you and welcome what makes your partner them. Yeah. Just because he or she's married to you doesn't mean she has to drop her culture. And that's mostly with the men. Let her continue doing her culture as long as she does her roles in the family matters, right? Then speak each other's languages. Hey, you learn his language, learn her language, literal and emotional. Just it doesn't cost nothing when you learn a language and then you guys communicate. You can't be communicating in English all the time in the house when you're all Africans. If she's Mugisu, learn Lugisu. If you're Muganda, let her learn Luganda, whatever. Just learn each other's languages to even keep the mood light. Then speaking English in the whole household. You speak English. When you don't speak English, you're speaking Luganda. You're like, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Then prepare for outside judgment. People are going to talk. People talk. People are going to question. People are going to mock. It'll be like we even have some historians here. They'll be like, yo, why are you not Pan-Africanism? You married a white guy. Now they don't know your history. They don't know the history you've gone through with these African women that they're saying you don't like, that they're saying you don't love. But then you went to Europe and you found a white girl who likes. I'm not saying white women are the best, but I'm saying it happens. You fall in love with a white woman, she does everything you want. She's the woman you really see as she's perfect. So if people judge you, you're going to make these judgments. They're even going to start lying to you about your husband or your wife or your love or whatever. Be like, you know what they do in their culture, Someone's going to make some investigation just to let your relationship fall. But that shouldn't shake you, right? Just keep your relationship or keep your love taller. Let it stand on its own, not on people's judgments. Because if anything that stands on people's judgments, dude, it's just like a pill of sand. I'm saying, man, maybe faith matters. It's religion that unites us all. And it's the same that divides us all. So if you guys are, I think that's the most important aspect in the Ugandan matter, whereby people are still judging partners on religion, regarding religion. If he's not born again, I'm not marrying him. If she's not Catholic, I'm not marrying her. If she's not Anglican, dude, if your partner that God prepared for you is of another religion, my dear, you're going to marry that religion. The French have a saying, it's whatever will be, will be. So if you marry someone who is of a different religion, you just move on. Just agree on how you're going to balance these two things. Because it's not religion that perhaps takes us to heaven. It's your inner heart that takes you to heaven. You understand? So if she's a born again, learn her religion, study her religion. Doesn't mean that you'll convert the religion. No. Go to church once in a while. And vice versa. If you're Catholic and she's born again, talk to her. Like, you can't marry church. Don't make her convert if she's not interested in converting. No. If she is, then she will. If she doesn't want, then you can't force someone to convert. Then plan for the kids, as I earlier said, what identity will they carry? Are they African? Are they French? Are they, are they South Africans? Are they from which side are they taking? Mostly, we usually consider the dad. But then if they take the dad's side, then which names you want to balance the two? You call them an African name with, and like let's say you call them a Ugandan name with an Ethiopian name to balance the thing. Then what names, what traditions? And remember, communication is your currency. By that, I will use it often and wisely because it's communication that is going to keep your marriages or your relationship united. Well, I think we should go for a short break and then we'll come back for the last segment of our show. So welcome back from that really petite break. So lastly, we are going to talk about intermarriages in our own country here, Uganda, the realities and the resiliences. You see, in Uganda, intermarriage is more common than ever, especially in urban areas, but certain challenges still linger. Let's go, for example, in Western Uganda. Some battle class by or discourage marriage with Bachiga due to old land conflicts. In central Uganda, interfaith marriages between Muslims and Catholics sometimes require family negotiation or religious conversions. Yeah. In northern Uganda, language and dowry traditions can create friction, especially when expectations differ. Yes. Yet many couples make it work beautifully. Why? Because they prioritize partnership over pressure and love over legacy. So, for example, in Western Uganda, so that's what I was earlier saying to you. People have conflicts. But when these conflicts don't matter to these kids, man, it's none of their business. As long as they fall in love with each other and they're willing to keep this marriage working, then just let them be. Then there are this if you're struggling with your partner or marry someone, dude, you just have to just sit down. As I said, communication is the key to this aspect. Well, globally, intermarriages are also rising. In the United States, 1 in 6 new marriages are interracial between different races. In Brazil, 38% of all marriages are cross-ethnic. In South Africa, post-apartheid generations are mixing more than ever before. Or the future. Diaspora Ugandans are marrying foreigners more than ever, from Germany to Japan, even Nigeria. Multicultural identity is growing. Your children might speak 5 languages and celebrate these three traditions. But well, this also has a brighter side of the lens. Intermarriage could heal tribalism. What better way to unite tribes than through family? The strong hatred they had for a particular tribe may be dissolved when they find a different tribe really working on well. And the world is mixing. The question is, can our hearts keep up? We are living in a global village, as you guys call it, a global village. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be surprised when your kid brings you a Japanese wife, and he brings you a Mongolian woman or a Mongolian man. Just don't reject. Sit down with the family and talk out ideas. And before you marry, please check out if the family is really, civilized. Or, you know what I'm saying? Okay, the society you're getting married from is civilized. You don't get married from everywhere. Just look for the guy's family, sit down with them, have a conversation. Yeah, my friends, intermarriage isn't just about 2 people. It's about how we build society. Will we cling to fear or open up to love? Will we build walls or bridges? But as we live today, remember this. Love is not about similarity. It's about understanding, compromise, and shared purpose. This is the lens where we look at life, love, and culture with new eyes. I've been your host, Kaitana Davis. Until next week, love deeply, listen kindly, and live really. Catch you later.
all-time favorites.